my name is Dipesh. I started this initiative called War Against Railway Rowdies. Primary objective is to nab the sexual offenders who are standing or inside the train or at the platform. I would like to start off with some video, okay, that will show you where the current state of our women's safety stands. So can we please start the video? Yeah, these are the kids, like these are school-going kids, like in 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard. There's one more video. Is it possible to play that? Women in our country, unfortunately. I wouldn't say there are too many such men, but unfortunately there are too many good men who are quiet, and that's the reason why these men get that courage. However, I would like to say that these kids are not more than 20-year-old. Unfortunately, the way our society is functioning, they don't get proper education, or there is a generation and generation of poverty and father seeing mother beating up or sister being beaten up. So they think that women are some kind of object that they can always vent it out on. War Against Railway Rowdies started in 2013. Primary objective was to stop men who harass women in the Mumbai local trains. I'm sure majority of you have been traveling in Mumbai local trains. You will see there are these group of men who are standing outside the station on the footboard while the train is moving out. These men will hang out and start abusing or harassing women sexually or verbally or physically. You know, I saw this guy once. He had a rose in his hand, like a really long one, and he started hitting every woman he could see on the platform standing there. Now, this act may not be as terrible as rape and molestation, but this act violates a basic right of a woman in this country. We are a free country, and this is not acceptable. I would like to start off with one doha also that will. I will explain this to you also. So it starts with पत्थर पूजे तो हरी मिले तो मैं पूजू पहाड़ सबसे भली चक्की जिसे पीसे तो खाए जग और संसार. This doha was written in 16th century by this legendary poet called as Mr. Kabir Das. This gentleman knew exactly the way our society was forming at the time. He's saying very clearly that अगर आपको पत्थर पूजने से भगवान मिलता है तो मैं पहाड़ को पूजूंगा. मगर वो पत्थर का सदुपयोग नहीं होगा if you don't make it into the right use. So he's saying वो पत्थर को चक्की बना दो तो उससे पूरा जग और संसार खाना खाएगा. So this one life that we've got, where if we don't utilize it in the right way, then we are nothing less than that stone worship. So this particular doha gave me a lot of strength and encouragement, and I didn't want it to become that one pathar or that pahad. With few friends of mine, we started doing surveys at Malad station, trying to find out, because police were not supportive initially. They were like, this problem is very normal, like, you know, I mean, what can you do about this? It's Mumbai local trains. So we got like some really shocking facts. More than 85% of women standing at Mumbai railway station feel insecure. You know, this is something which was very worrying. These surveys were sent to Prime Minister, President, the Chief Minister, both the Railway Commissioner of GRP and RPF, to take the right amount of action against them. Unfortunately, we did not get any support from there. Then we sent out the service to National Commission on Women Rights and State Commission on Women Rights. Fortunately, we got some response from the State Commission on Women Rights. She sent our survey results to the Standing Committee of Parliament, who looks into the railway affairs, but no go. Very disappointed, we didn't know what to do. We started our initiative. Initially, the problem is that every time you stand on the train, you try to catch these guys. They are so coward that they will act when the train is moving out of the station. So let's say if a train is going from Malad to Bandra, so while train is moving out, they'll harass or hit women or say something really nasty to them. So in their mind, they feel that nobody's going to catch me. And that's the mindset we wanted to break. If I am there in that train, I will make sure I'll call the GRP helpline number, try and get the cop at the next station, the next possible station, and try to catch that guy. That is the primary objective of war. Now, I don't know if this is the best method, but I know for sure that I can't just close my eyes and just let that guy get away. Nirbhaya rape, gang rape that happened, that shook me as a person, and I felt truly ashamed to be a man. And I'm sure many of you men sitting here felt the same. A lot of people wanted to vent it out, and I felt like I need to store this anger in me. I need to keep it on so I can go on till the longest time. I didn't want to go out and protest and vent it out the way most of the people did, while I'm saying that that's important, but I just didn't want to choose to do that. A little promise I gave to Nirbhaya at the time and to all the women in this country that every time I see a harasser or any kind of abuser, even if he's a husband or a boyfriend, there is no right that he can touch her or beat her up or do any of these things. I will stand up and I will tell that person that what they're doing is wrong. Even if the guy is twice the size of you, you will still go and tell him little politely, like, "Aap jo kar rahe ho, galat kar rahe ho." So it's important that people stand up against such menace. This movement kept going on until there was a time where cops started questioning me, saying that you keep coming to us, but where are the evidences? So initially, when I was standing on the footboard, when I'm traveling to work or wherever, I used to try and record it from my phone. But you know, Mumbai local trains are very crowded, and it became very difficult for me to manage myself, my bag, and my phone, that I almost bought it by selling one of my kidney. So it was very difficult, and a couple of times I missed out by the passing by poles. So I did a little research, and I found out there was this one camera that was easily been fixed into the third eye of the camera, and this is that camera, where I could record everything so easily and prove it to the cops and everybody that this is the kind of intensity of the problem that is there in our city. And they were shocked, they were worried also. Unfortunately, did not get anything materialized. So I started using it for my own benefit. Every time I used to catch somebody, I used to try. If he does not agree to the offense that he's made, then I will try and download the video and I will show it to them. And till today, we have caught about 150 plus rowdies in Mumbai local trains. Often they ask me the question that, why is this happening? Like, what on the earth they get, what kind of joy they get doing this? Like, are they not worried? Are they not scared? And this question was there in my mind too for the longest time. With my little research and understanding, and I've been observing it in my house or in my friend's house and everywhere, it's a conditioning. You know, you talk about from the time you are a child, all the masculine jobs are been given to boys, and all the jobs that are like, which are mild, mellow, are given to girls. This is the conditioning that has been happening since childhood. You go to a friend's birthday party whose daughter's birthday is there, you will buy a Barbie doll for that daughter, that girl child. You will buy a frock, you'll buy something very pinky looking thing, but you will never buy a superhero for that girl. You are actually dividing, you are actually creating a massive rift between a child where you are giving, you go to a boy's birthday party, a young boy, you'll give him a car, you'll give him a superhero model, or you give him like a cricket bat, or you give him all the sports that are related to men. Okay, you will never gift a boy a badminton, because apparently that is something that has been played by women, right? So how many times we see that? Like how many times we see in our house, when there are like about 5 male who've come, apparently the relatives who come in the house, they sit and they eat food, all the women in the family come and serve them, right? How many of you have seen, after they get up, how many of these men have stood up and given serve to the female sitting and eating in the house? That does not happen. And that is the conditioning. Somewhere as a society, this is a very social problem. This is not a problem of Dipesh tank. This is as much as your problem, police's problem, everybody's problem. We are contributing it into our society in unknowingly by creating that gender bias, you know. I would like to play with a Barbie doll, even at this point of time. I mean, what makes it so, what will make me feminine? You know, like what will make me any of a man? Why is this social stigma about only men can play with certain things and boys can play and girls can play with certain things? So this conditioning is happening since childhood. This is one part of the problem. This is one part of the problem where we are not training our children, our young minds, to be neutral, to be unbiased, to be fair. We are only telling them what we've been learning. So you want to buy something from outside, you'll send your son to go and buy it. But if you want a broom in the house, you'll tell your daughter. This is unfair. And that's where the divide starts. Then you start treating women as a weaker side, and you start telling them, if your child is crying, you say, why are you crying? Are you a girl? So you're saying basically girls cry and crying is a sign of weakness. That's untrue. Men cry too. And I think it's fine to cry. Just like you laugh, you cry. It's perfectly fine. तुमने उसके हाथ से मार खा के आया, तूने चूड़ियां पहन के रखी है. Wearing chudiya, bangles, is a sign of weakness. That's what you're trying to say. And this is the problem, you know. You are saying indirectly women are weak, you know, and I'm saying that we need to, it's very difficult at times, you know. For the longest time, I'm born and brought up in that kind of format where I was told certain things about women, but I'm saying that somewhere we need to change that perception slowly and steadily, and that's very important. Like I said, this is one part of the problem. The other part of the problem is all the men inside the train, who so-called general compartment, which is for men and women both, but unfortunately it's been claimed that only men travel in that compartment because there is allocated for women the other compartment. In a compartment filled with 250 to 300 people, there are about 4 to 5 men who are harassing women at the platform, but none of those men, none of these guys will stand up and say that what you're doing is wrong. This is another problem that we're building in our country. We have become so self-centric and selfish that we only see that this is not my family member. Why will I do that? How many times, all the women sitting here, tell me how many times you've gone home and told your father or mother or brother that aaj mujhe do ladko ne chheda tha. Think about it. You will never do that. Hence the onus, in my opinion, on men gets much higher, that tomorrow it could be my daughter, my sister, my girlfriend, my wife, or my mother. Would I want her to get no support from people? Where are we going? Like, what are we talking about? किसी का wallet चोरी हो जाता है, तभी उसको मारने में 100 लोग आ जाते हैं. But किसी की माँ बहनों को छेड़ा जाता है, तभी किसी को तकलीफ नहीं होती. वो सोचते हैं कि वो मेरा कुछ lookout नहीं है. This is one of the biggest problems I face. Like, I don't get support. There are 5 boys, I get scared. I'm sorry, I'm not a hero, I'm not a James Bond. It doesn't work that way in real life. I get scared too, I get worried too about my life. But I need support, I need help, I need people who can, I'm not like, I can go and ram into people and start fighting every day. How many of you like to fight every day? I get tired. But what do? We can't be quiet. In our country, just one question I would like to ask, how many of you love your country? All of you? Awesome. I'm not surprised, otherwise you'll be called as anti-national. So, in my opinion, loving your country means taking care of your country. Not just wearing a flag on 15th August and 26th January and abusing a community or a country, you know. That's so uncalled for. I feel that that's the wrong way of teaching people what patriotism is. Patriotism is about taking care of your country. Patriotism is about taking all the problems in your country, pick up a problem, try to solve it. That is taking care of your country. That is the real meaning of loving your country. It's not about you say Bharat Mata Ki Jai and you become much more patriot than I am. I don't want to say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, for example, but I will fix all that problem that is there in Bharat Mata. Are you saying that our country does not have problems? We have it. This is a bigger problem. So many years after independence, women still don't have basic rights. They can't travel on their own. Like if they travel, there are men who harass them. Like, what kind of freedom is this? So these are the problems. We need to go and face it and resolve it, and not get into the political mess that has been created to prove who's national and who's anti-national. Start taking care of your country. If you say you love your country, how many of you take care of that flag that you put here, and you make sure that that flag has never gone down the drain? Like, it's lying down in the garbage the next day, on 27th Jan and on 16th August. It's there. That patriotism is only for that one day. We all want to see the movies like Border, Kargil, LOC, and feel really super motivated, charged, I love my country, and you abuse everybody who says against it. It's important to be responsible towards your motherland. It's important to stand up against the problem that your country is facing. I'm not saying you start a war kind of initiative, but can you at least start from the small basic thing by teaching children, by doing something differently, just keeping your surroundings clean. That is being responsible and loving your country. Most of us eat something and we throw it down, right? How would you dirty something that you love? So for me, this was really bothering all the time. And I'm not saying that this problem will be solved because of me or police or anybody. This will not. This is another struggle. As much as I tell, and I'm very critical about men in our country, I'm also questioning women's ability to stand up and go and file an FIR. There are so many times I have been told, like, I don't want to file an FIR. And I'm like, why? The harasser is clearly telling you that he's whistled at you or he's touched you inappropriately. You need to stand up and go and file an FIR. At the least you can do is that. It's not easy to get freedom. Who said it was easy to get freedom? This country has paid a huge price to be free. And it's important everybody to participate equally, I'm not saying to go and file an FIR and make sure he dies, okay? I'm saying that at least file and make it difficult. So next time वो सोचेगा 2 बार कि मैं किसी को छेड़ूं कि नहीं छेड़ूं. So this is where I feel that being responsible towards your motherland is very important. I would like to end this talk by giving a little story. There was a very nice man. All his life, he's worked hard. He's taken care of his family. He's done everything that it takes to keep his family happy, okay? Whatever he gave to his daughter, son, mother, wife, everything, he made everybody happy in his family. Once he dies and he goes, apparently he goes to God, and he says, and he's worried, and he says that, what are you doing sitting here? There is so much mess down on the planet. There is malnutrition, there is no food for people, there is so much violence, there is so much harassment, there is so much war happening. Like, there is so much mess. Like, why would you not send some Masiha or some of your angels to, or you yourself go and fix it? And God just smiled at him and said, like, precisely why I sent you down there. What did you do? This is one question that I feel that we all need to go back after this talk, is that what are we doing towards this one life that I've got, and there is this one animal in front of me, like, what is the difference between that animal and myself? I keep asking that question every day. I don't want to die in the misery of like creating 12 crore PowerPoint presentations for my client. I mean, what have I done? Like, मैंने 12 crore presentations बनाए, पैसे वाले को और पैसा वाला बनाया. So this is the thought that I keep having all the time, and I'm like, we need to try and do something or the other a little bit gradually towards loving your country. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.